YouTube is fucking. YouTube really cut me off. Interesting. Well, I'm just gonna allow time for you guys to come back in this live stream because that was a bit weird. But we'll just give a bit of time for you guys to come in. Um, Let me see if I can play some music in the meantime. I know, right, Amy? Well, these people just cutting me off. Like, what the hell? I'll give a little bit of time for you guys to come back in. In fact, I think everyone that was cut off is back in the live now. But yeah, YouTube just cut me off for no reason. Um, so we're just gonna, yeah, I know it was really weird, Cheyenne. Like, whew, okay. Well, seeing as how YouTube wanna go on that thing, let me just continue because again, this is still tying into everything that I'm talking about. Now, with this whole situation that's going on right now, our power has been taken away from us. We're not feeling like we can, you know, someone is now telling you what you can do, what you can't do, when you can do it. Um, all the that's what's being presented anyway. I have actually spoken about. Did it say I violated a term of service? Is that what it said? That's crazy. Um, yeah. So because we're in this time, it can feel like you don't have control of yourself. It can feel like someone else is taking control of your reality. Um, it can feel like, and I've been controlled for my whole life by family members, by people that I allowed to control me. And that's one thing that we need to be able to put into perspective, because those who may come from narcissistic, toxic families, toxic relationships, it's not that that person was controlling you, it's that you allowed them. And you may not have been privy or have known how to be able to put barriers up or put boundaries up in that moment. But the fact of the matter is, we have to learn to be able to take accountability for how we allow people to treat us. People treat us a specific way because we allow them to treat us that way. Also, can everyone in this live also put a like on this video, because YouTube clearly took all my likes away as well. I'd really appreciate that. So really learning how to regain control of your life, regain control of your experiences, regaining control of your reality, and tying it into everything that's happening right now. As I was saying before, it's almost like our timelines are being deliberately hacked. And it's something that I always used to say, and even before this thing would happen, this whole thing took place, I would always say that I don't really resonate with this apocalyptic frequency. And I've always been, even back from the time when I was in church, for some reason, Revelations was always something that I was attracted to. Was scared to read it at first because obviously it's a very scary book about, or if you don't understand the book, it can be quite scary if it's speaking about the end times and everyone gonna die and all this kind of stuff. That can be quite wild. But I always said that I don't resonate with the apocalyptic frequency because for what I've seen, for what the visions that I have for myself, the things that I know that I'm meant to be achieving, the people that I know I'm meant to be connecting with, I feel like that's still meant to happen. I don't feel an end. I do feel a reset. I do feel that things will not be exactly how it's been before, how we expect things to be. I do expect there to be a lot of shifts. I do expect there to be a lot of shakeups. I don't expect things to be very easy. I do expect that we're gonna have to be going back to some primal ways like we're doing right now, really learning how to be self-sufficient within ourselves on all different levels. That's something that is going to be very hard for us because we've been living in a very privileged world and society. So right now, all of this stuff with the C word and all of that stuff going on, really this is first world problems, because there's people in Africa, uh in impoverished places, that are not able to still have the privileges, even in lockdown, even in all of the physical things that's happening right now. They're still not able to have access to a fraction of what we have access to. So let's really put things into perspective right now, because it's almost like we're going on like spoilt brats. Like, we've got a whole load of spoilt brats on planet Earth right now, because things are not able to go exactly the way they expected things to go. So you're just gonna throw tantrums. Oh my gosh, I can't go out. Oh my gosh, I can't do this. Oh my gosh, look what they're doing. Fuck what they're doing. Fuck what is going on right now. And I keep telling you this for a reason, because again, this is timeline jacking. So where I think I just saw someone say that I didn't resonate with, you didn't resonate with the apocalyptic frequency either. Okay, so if there are people that are not resonating on this apocalyptic frequency, what do you think they're trying to do? They're trying to drag you out of the timeline that you're currently on onto another timeline that doesn't belong to you. And this is what is happening right now. And I put up a post earlier, and I was literally like, I reserve my right to not be fearful, to not feel like I have to be in this shitstorm, to feel like I don't have to take this whole virus seriously. I don't have to do that, because at the end of the day, for what I'm feeling and for what I'm resonating with and for what I'm picking up, this is not my reality. And it would literally be like gaslighting for me to it's literally, I feel like the world is gaslighting us, right? Gaslighting you to take this fear and be like, why are you not fearful? I'm not fearful because I'm not fearful. This is bullshit. I can see straight through this, and you expect me to actually be, continuing on this train. No, that's your timeline. And so what is actually happening right now is that there is a massive split of timelines. Now you're gonna have to start saying bye-bye to some people, because you're realizing that you're not on the same timeline. You're on a completely different frequency. So a lot of these people that are panicking right now, oh my gosh, they've already been got. They're on a completely different level, completely different timeline. Their reality is completely different to ours. So I don't need to engage and tap in a timeline that doesn't exist for me. Right? So let me just go back and look back at some of your comments. Baron says, I just had someone ghost me out of nowhere because she didn't want to be called on the phone. Shake my head. So many things, so many weird things are up right now. Of course, you're going to see a lot of that. Like I said, this is a time when you're going to be saying bye to a lot of people. And it's really weird, because there's something else I was going to say as well. Where is it? Yeah, so the Bible even speaks about this. I like to use the Bible as a metaphorical point, because the Bible is not it's not a historical book. It's not an accurate book, but it is a book of codes. It's their book. It's an occultic book for a reason. Okay, so the Bible talks about the mass deception in Revelations, and I believe that this is what we're in. And some people, the majority of people, will be taken away in a mass deception, because this is an opportunity to be able to regain control. So it's like, we have to be paying attention to what is going on. Literally, I'm sitting down watching. If you watch the news, this is why all of these people that are sitting down in their homes being consumed by the news, why do you think we're quarantined right now? Why do you think we're locked down? So that you can literally be consuming the bullshit that they're trying to project at you. They would have they'll have the same reporter come up and say two conflicting different narratives in one day. in the morning they'll say, oh, this is all blown out of proportion. We don't know why people are doing this. There's no need to panic. There's no need to panic. And then the same day, the same reporter will go in the evening and be like, this is a very serious situation. People are dying. People, you need to stay inside. Please, social distancing. They are gaslighting the shit out of you. This is a troll. Like, this is like the biggest troll to ever have been created. Like, I couldn't even imagine this shit. I couldn't even write this shit. And this is why it had to have been such a long orchestrated plan to be able to do it like this, because this is wild. Or literally what is happening is that they are speaking and you are acting without actually seeing, actually, why are they saying that? What did they actually say? Right? People are, even in London, London is not locked down. Like, I don't know about other countries because I don't live there. But I know that London is not locked down. So whilst they're trying to say lockdown, 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 you can still go out your yard. You may not be able to go to work. You may not be able to utilize the things in the system, but you are still free. Stop thinking that your life has been taken away. This is where control, this is where choice comes in. What are you going to do? And this also comes in to show how you've actually been allowing people, or you've been on autopilot, allowing the system to dictate your life, because it takes the system to shut down and you're pissed. You can't operate. You can't do anything. This is your problem. You're the virus, right? You need to heal yourself. Right? We are free. This is the beginning of the freedom of humanity. And this is why also be very careful about who you're tuning into. Whether they are intuitives, whether they are astrologers, because just because you're an astrologer, just because you're an intuitive, doesn't mean to say that you're going to pick up a specific message. And I feel like there's a lot of fear that has been anchored under a lot of the messages that are being projected right now. And I would just say be careful and just tune into what you resonate with. Tune into, because there's too much fear going around. This is why I refuse to engage in that fear train. There's no need to be fearful right now. Yes, you do need to be aware. Yes, you do need to buckle up. I have been saying from last year, from this whole Virgo stealing came in, that we needed to get the fuck in our bodies, right? We need to get out the astrals, get out the emerald tablets, get out of all this stuff and get into our bodies, get into our 3D experiences, because we're going to have to be dealing with some stuff head on, right? That is going to affect all of us. And when have we ever been in a situation that literally the whole world has been affected by something? I said this the other day. This virus doesn't exist. It only existed on social media. Social media spread this, timelines. People spread the hysteria and the fear and all of this type of stuff. And you're not actually thinking for yourself. So this is how your timeline is being able to get hijacked. And right now, this is the optimum time for us to be creating, to be really thinking about what, even the next decade, what is the position that you want to be in the next decade, right? Because that's what I'm on, right? I'm positioning myself in 2020 for 2030. What are you doing? Are you scared? You listening to the news all day? What are you doing? Like, take control of your reality. Don't allow yourself to be dictated by this bullshit. Like, this is the stuff that's gonna send you crazy and kill you. This is Bird Box in itself. Like, Bird Box, it was the blind people who were always seeing, who were fine, remember? The people who were always seeing that side, right? It's the people who couldn't see, or who could see rather, physically. They're the ones that started killing themselves because they got exposed to stuff that other people have been exposed to for a very long time. This is new to you, right? But if we just begin to pay attention, there's no need to be scared. And when we think about it, this is what if we fuel the collective unconscious with fear, what do you think is going to be manifested? And this is why I refuse to be engaged in the collective unconscious right now. I'm on my own timeline. You're on your own time. We're literally all on our own timeline. We're not on a collective timeline, right? Which is why everything just feels really fragmented. You're gonna have to see a lot of clashes of opinions. You know, why are you not fearful? Like, oh, this is bullshit. Like, I literally was yesterday heard a madness outside my house because people are like, this whole thing is bullshit, man. Like I told you, like the majority of Londoners, when you look at it, they don't give a shit like about this in real life. They really don't, which shows that again it's a psyop, because the more that they keep bringing in new changes, the more that they bring in and let me tell you, this is how they're trolling you, and this is why they're trolling you, because they know that already the earth, humanity has already gone through a consciousness shift. So there's certain things that they can't do pre 9/11 anymore. This is a test to see where everyone is. This is literally a social experiment, okay? So are you going to allow yourself to be controlled? Are you going to allow your future, your reality? This is why last month I was talking about with the Mercury in retrograde, with the Mercury retrograde in Pisces, and we had to really deal with some sovereignty stuff, claiming all of ourselves, every part of ourselves, so that we're sovereign, so that we can come into this period right now knowing who the hell you are together and not afraid. Right? This is a really wild time right now, because 5D has literally crashed into 3D, which is why things feel really, really weird right now. Which is why even for me, this is even more frightening, because as I keep saying, the things that are playing out in physical reality right now are shit that I experienced back in 2017, whether astrally or fragments of it within my actual physical experience. Like, this is wild. Really, really wild, and it's gonna be crazy for a while. But let me just touch on astrologically for a bit. So yes, Saturn went into Aquarius yesterday. However, where are we now? We're in March, April, May. So in May, from next month to May, we've got about 5 planets going retrograde. Literally, the whole cosmos is deciding to go retrograde on our ass. Okay. It's gonna be like 2017 again, right? When we had all of those planets going retrograde, it was just mad. This is gonna happen again. But what I will say is that we're just getting a glimpse of the future. We're not in the future yet, because Saturn is also going to retrograde back into Capricorn. So, and then it will be properly in Aquarius next year, which I feel like that's what we need to be more mindful of. This is a joke. This is a cover-up. We need to be paying attention and peeping through all of these smoke screens, because there's a lot of stuff going on that's about to be revealed the closer we get to the new moon. More lockdowns are going to be imposed. I do think London is going to go under more of a lockdown, but again, you're not locked down, okay? Don't even accept that as a reality, because like I said earlier, you're more free than you could ever be, right? But because you rely on this system, you rely on this reality, you don't know what to do. You don't actually know what to do. So let me know how you guys are feeling with this topic. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know how you guys are feeling with it. Just talk to me. What's going on? As this is the message that I wanted to be able to come online and speak to you about. Hold on, let me go and see these messages. Keisha says, I don't resonate with it either. Feels forced and odd. Of course, it's like, what's the best plan where we can just quickly implement this? And I don't even think it was planned properly. The whole thing is some craziness. Like, I'm like, my child could have planned something better. Hi, Sheila. She says wholeness. Same things I want. Same things I want. I still expect them to happen. Yeah. Now is the time to make it happen. Eliza says, I'm so psyched that I get to benefit from being able to say I can't go anywhere. I still get to work because I work in a clinic. This is a dream come true. Literally, do you know what? It's so funny because I was saying, this whole thing is an extrovert's problem. Like, I'm not like this. I don't go out. I go from A to B and occasionally C. I don't come out my yard. Right? I just want an easier option to where I could just do what I need to do and don't feel like I need to be everywhere. I mean, the only thing that has happened for me is that some of my actual physical placements, I still do work in schools. I still do work in prisons and people referral units, and I still do work doing as a session singer and performing and all that kind of stuff. And obviously all of those jobs have been taken because I can't go out and perform and stuff, and that was really creating a bulk of my income. So I can't really do that at the moment. But again, I'm not allowing things to, I'm the type of person where the moment an obstacle comes, putting myself in a position where I become stressed and I become frustrated and that's not really going to help me, because at the end of the day I need a solution, and solutions cannot be found in frustration. So let me just look at the situation. Okay, what can I do, and figure out a best way forward. Right? Like, stop. This is how we get trapped in all of these loops because we refuse to take control of what's actually happening to us. Keisha says, what do you do when it's your family members who you live with enforcing these fears? It shouldn't feel weird to be calm. You know what? That's something I did actually think about, because I was like, I would not be, the people who are literally around people feeding it, I don't know how you guys would do it. Like, you're gonna have to find some kind of filter, some kind of boundary that you can place around yourself. Don't even engage with them. Just stay. Do you know what? Don't even create an argument, because you're in a small confined space already. And so any type of argument, any type of fuel is just not going to make that situation any better. So just avoid the situation. Let them be like, okay, do you know what? Do you keep yourself in your room? Keep yourself in your own little vibe. Find things that you can work on right now, that you can just focus your intention. Like, literally, I say this to everyone. Find something that you can focus your intention on, because if you've got something that you can focus attention on, you won't be easily distracted by all this bullshit. It doesn't matter to you, because you're already focused on something else, which is why I'm okay. Like, I've got a whole heap of stuff to be focusing on right now and be channeling my energy into. I don't have time to be wasting energy onto foolishness that don't benefit me. Right? So just learn to be more selective with your energy. Learn to be more selective with what you engage with. This is a thing where everyone... Okay, so what I will say is that you have to allow everyone to be entitled to their own reality. Just as much as I want to be entitled to my own reality of, this is some bullshit, let me actually, like, not feel like I have to feel guilty for going outside and doing all this kind of stuff. And you know what? It's funny because she's been up on my spirit all day. Someone I know very well, And if you guys know her as well, she was quite well known in the social space. Brittany Spivey, she had passed away yesterday, and she passed away in a very very tragic um, circumstance. And one thing that made that kind of lit to me is that it was quite traumatic. She passed away in a um, an accident, adventure accident. But my thing was that she was living her best life. She, in this whole fears of coronavirus and all this kind of stuff, she was like, I'm gonna travel. Like, whilst you lot are locked down, I'm going to Cancun and I'm gonna live my best life. And she literally passed away living her best life. And that's something that I'm always going to take from that. And I feel like that is and this all happened on the spring equinox. It was just crazy the way it all happened, and I feel like that was just a mess. She was carrying, she's a light herself, but her light even carried a message of continue to live life. Like, understand that you don't have any boundaries. Like, no one can tell you anything. The more that, like, for example, let me go back to my experience of being locked up, because someone else in that situation would literally be like, yeah, I'm locked up, like, no, this is the end. Which there was sometimes when I did actually feel like that, but I realized if I continue to feel like that, I'm not getting out, because I'm the only person fighting for me getting out, so I can't give up. So and I look at that and I see all of the ways that I was still able to be myself. I didn't care. Like, I was still doing my little singing stuff and stuff that doesn't make sense to them. I was going to do it because at the end of the day, I know that this is what helps me. And I remember in the process of doing that, I actually broke through a lot of barriers and things that they tried to put against me in terms of extending my time instead of because they were trying to keep me in there for 6 months, right? For someone who doesn't have a mental health condition, really wild. But they were trying to keep me up there in there for 6 months. Um, they wouldn't put on my water, had me on some army wash stuff, and all of these different things were happening. I remember every time I stood in my power, whilst all of these things were being thrown at me, I realized that I could dictate how things could go just by standing in my power. Like, the moment I grabbed myself and I was like, no, I'm not going to put up with this anymore, that's when things started to change. And this is what humanity is going to start to recognize. The more that Saturn goes into Aquarius, right? The more we get into this Aquarius energy. Aquarius is a rebel. It don't do well with rules and structures, right? It's interesting because this is the contrast between Capricorn and Aquarius. Even though they're both ruled by Saturn, Capricorn will be more inclined to understand why the rules are there and following the rules and following all that kind of stuff. Aquarius is just like, I don't do rules and I'm not going to abide by your rules, and what I'm going to do is set my own rules. That's what I'm going to do. So this is where society is moving into, this rebellious, this revolution. And I'm telling you, the revolution is now, and it's not being televised. Like, we are literally in the middle of a massive revolution that if we just pay attention to what's happening, there would be no need for fear. Literally, if we recognize that this is all a game, they are literally playing chess on your back, all you have to do is stand up and the game's over, because there's more of us than there is of them. So if we actually stand up and say, actually, we don't want this, we don't want vaccines, we don't want this, we don't want that, and actually stand by it, what can they do? Right? And this is about learning how to be able to stand in your own power, like, and stand, and even recognizing your own sense of revolution, because this is not all to life. Right? The life, the humanity, the earth that we've been living in, It's not really been a good earth. So what type of earth do you want to be walking into? What type of earth do you want to create? We have direct responsibility to that being able to manifest the way that we intend. So I really want you to think about these things, because yeah, like you're in control. You're always in control. And that's something we always need to remember. Amy says it in Toronto and Vancouver it is a lockdown. How is it? How does they? Is anyone able to go to the shops? Are they able to do? Like what are they able to do? Because I can still see people going to the parks. Like I can still see people going for a walk. Yes, you may not be able to operate your normal everyday society, but you're not completely locked down. Like, do you get what I mean? Um, Eliza says it was not planned well at all. No, it really wasn't. They did not think this through. Like, I don't know who thought this was a good idea and just thought, yeah, we can just run this through. But that person, they need to be pulled to a meeting, because this shit don't make no sense whatsoever. Even how they're playing it out on the news. I feel like 9/11 was planned better than this shit. And you lot had how many years for this? Like, and 9/11 was still planned better than this shit. Because I was bamboozled by 9/11. This shit don't make no sense. From the get-go. It don't make no sense. Amy says it's spring, guys, a time to start seeding and working outside is the opposite of what this season is. Exactly. This when I started seeing the sun, and I was like, this is the time for me to start going into the park. And I always, especially last year was an amazing time, just because the last few years I've been really struggling. I became very, very introverted and very, very recluse, especially in summertime. Um, and I was very, because of how I was brought up, I was afraid of the sun and even getting darker and stuff. So that's another reason why I never would go out in the sun. And I would always spend a lot of times indoors and outside. But now I'm actually trying to bring myself in a position where I'm like, no, go out, explore, like all this type of stuff. So last year I was able to do that more. It was actually a really, really beautiful and just empowering for me. And I live in England, so spring, summertime, we need that time, because this type of cold and this type of no sun I can't get with, because I'm a Caribbean woman, right? We need something. I come from the sun. We need sun, right? So even though I'm born here, but obviously my family is Caribbean, um, I can't be doing this type of stuff. So now this is the time when we're supposed to be outside, and you have to question why they're keeping you inside, because again, Corona is the sun. What's actually happening to the sun? And we know that there's two suns being appearing right now. This whole Nibiru is also connected to wormwood for those who understand the Bible, but also connected to Planet X for those who understand astronomy. It's all the same thing, right? This is what's happening. That's what they're trying to actually prevent you from actually seeing. Why is no one outside? And so, yeah, I just feel like this is now the time. And they want to be, again, it's another way to hijack your timeline, because if this is a time when you're supposed to be going out and you're supposed to be doing what you're doing, then why are you inside? Because what's also interesting is how they're playing this out so close to the financial year, which is obviously spring equinox, but the financial year starts in April, but they want to start the year in January. But why is this all happening right now? Just as 2020 has just come in. I would like to know that. And this is how you know that your government studies astrology, I'm telling you. Like, they know astrology so that they could capitalize on the energies. Like, they know that, like, imagine, think of it. How the frig, like, I just laugh. It took this Virgo supermoon to come. It's all like the universe just being like, Una is nasty, go clean his skin. Oh, that is nasty. Go wash your hand. I don't know how to wash your hand. You're how old and you don't know how to wash your hand, you don't know how to wash your skin. You know what pisses me off even more? When I'm seeing all these pictures of stock being missing, everyone's going for the toilet paper, everyone's going for the hand sanitizer, but the salt section is empty, is still full. Why have you not gone to the what happened to the soap? You don't know how to wash your skin, but you love it, but you want to be washing off your hand. I don't understand. Priorities, please. Like, and this is what I mean about this energy. Energy, the universe just come up and was like, yeah. But also, um, Virgo rules is the ruler of Virgo is Mercury, um, and Virgo also rules the nervous system. So anxiety. Look at the anxiety. Look at the panic, right? And this is the time that they want to be able to um strategically play things out so that when the Virgo supermoon comes in, everyone's in panic mode, right? Um, Amy says that's hilarious. There was so many body wash options. This is what I mean. All of them know how to wash your skin, but you're going for pasta and for toilet tissue. Nobody can find a toilet tissue, but you can't wash the skin. Like, I'm sure that priorities. Please. You know, get a surgical mask. Remember, Virgo is literally like the OCD person. So just think about this energy. But also, what I also hear with this energy is that whilst everyone's so concerned about their physical hygiene, what about your internal hygiene? A Virgo is also the spiritual path, right? It is the sacred path. So what about inside? Virgo rules the digestive system. I'm sure there's a lot of toxins that you need to be able to clean out and purge out inside whilst you're so focused on the external aesthetics, right? Like, priorities again, because this is why I say we're the virus. There ain't no virus that exists in real life. It's us. Like, how is it that we got locked away in quarantine and the dolphins can come back into the waters? Like, greenery can grow the way it needs, water can clean up. It's us. We're the virus. Right? Pollution clearer. How it took 2, 3, 4 weeks for humanity to be locked away and for Mother Earth to be able to come back into some type of harmony. We're the virus. Our priorities are so twisted and messed up. It's unbelievable. But yeah, we need to just begin to look at things. Look at things for what they are. And don't allow yourself to be sucked into these narratives that you never created, you never intended for, you don't resonate with. This is how they get you. So yeah, that's what I wanted to be able to say today. If there's anything that you guys wanted to say before I get off, or you wanted to talk about, or if you wanted to ask, you can do that right now, before I get off. Eliza says, yep, this is a great time to release. Yes, release, like really release, and let your, like, this is a this is also what I wanted to say. So this is that Saturn is also to do with karma. So whilst a lot of us, especially with the Mercury retrograde that come up last month, a lot of karmic shit was coming up. And these are some of the things that we needed to begin to purge, because these are the things that were starting to filter into our everyday reality, right? And that's what we want to do, right? We don't want to be experiencing the same experiences over again. We just need to jump out the cycle, right? So it's also like, this is literally the time to break the program, because reincarnation itself is a program. This is how astrology can show you what program you're on. Reincarnation is a program. I don't want to be reincarnating. Now I'm done in the cycle, in it, because now I'm conscious of my choices and how I move forward and the life that I want to be living. I'm aware of the past. I'm aware of what got me here, and I'm determined to not allow those things to happen again. Timeline shift. I'm jumping into a completely different spiral, not a cycle. I'm no longer in cycles. I'm in spirals, because a cycle continues to go round and round. It's just a continual loop. A spiral has processes of evolution that continue to ascend and expand. It's expansion and growth all at once. So now is the time to really address this stuff. It's like, okay, do you want to stay in that old world of that loop of what's always continued to go? Because if that's the case, let that fear take you, and you can go away with that world. That world is dying. In fact, it's dead, right? Go with that world. But there's already something that's been birthed that is completely new. This is the new moon in Aries. It's still hidden. Because it's still the moon is still in a dark phase. So we're only beginning to see the taste of things, of what this new world actually is. Until 2023, it's not really going to be settled in like completely. We're just coming into the touches of it. Someone just said karma is just cause and effect. Of course it is. You do something, there's a consequence. Keela says, have you experienced massive universe downloads in dreams? I've been having dreams and premonitions on the daily. Yeah, I spoke about how it happens to me in seasons. My last video, I spoke about how my gifts came online, and it came on like I was every day, like literally, it didn't stop for about 2 weeks. It was just constant downloads, constant seeing people, telling them about their lives, why things happened, what happened. It was just wow, and it actually became very tiring. This is just an indication that you're coming online, you're activated, you're in tune with self. I can appreciate it can be very overwhelming, especially for like if it comes on like how it came on with me. I can appreciate that can be very, very overwhelming. But this is where grounding will come. Grounding will be an amazing tool for you, because what often happens is that we shoot up here and then we get lost up there. But it's important to make sure that we ground ourselves in those processes as well. So always bring yourself back to the present, the present moment, and also remember that you may be tapping in. Like sometimes you tap in and it's like good few years down the line. Like it's not, there's, especially when you see stuff, it's not always immediate, and sometimes that can create anxiety. But yeah, I would just say just allow yourself to ground in that energy, and just appreciate that you're going through a consciousness shift right now. You're going through an awakening, and this is a powerful place to be. Just be receiving these messages, to sit with them. Not all the time you need to be able to act. Not all the time you need to be able to do something, but just sit with these messages and just feel your way through them, because there's a reason why they're coming up for you at the moment. Iseek says, do you know Eileen and Althea Eccles? They're twins, but you look just like them. No, I don't actually, but I get told this all the time. Oh, you look like this person, you look like that person. I have a very, very common face. I actually want to look into that actually, because yeah, like literally I get that all the time, like of people saying that you look like this person or you look like that person. So that's quite interesting. But yeah, so I'm gonna jet enough, because that's the message that I wanted to be able to come on to tell you guys. Also, before I get off, there was a few things that I just needed to mention. Yeah, so I'm actually doing a this is for all the entrepreneurs. or the business owners. I'm currently in the process of doing a chakra alignment for entrepreneurs. So today we're actually on our sacral chakra. We're going um, through the chakras, but I've created a exercise that incorporates self-discovery, personal branding, and digital marketing. So it's allowing you to go through like a chakra setup of being able to identify what is the issues within these chakras and what is it that you need to be able to do to be able to facilitate that, and obviously in relation to your business. Spring equinox, perfect time for a detox. So we're doing this detox for business, as this is the area that I'm trying to inspire people to move into. So yes, if you do have a business, if you are an entrepreneur, then head over to my Facebook group, the True Self Project Business Network. There's a lot of resources that I'm putting in there. Beautiful community that's in there as well. We've got loads of different specialists from different businesses. Some people that haven't even created businesses yet, but they're just inspired to be in the place, in the space, so that they can be exposed to information to know how they can actually expand and start their own businesses. So again, head over to True Self Project Business Network on Facebook. And yeah, someone says, what's the best way to learn astrology, the houses, the planets, or the zodiacs? I would, well, they're all kind of like, I wouldn't say there's one, there's a book. Oh, where is this book? Okay, hold on. In fact, let me write a note. I'm going to put the book, because I did mention it, that I was mentioned this book on the last in fact, I can find it here. 1 second. And it has planets, the planets, the signs, and the aspects. So for anyone who actually there's an app that I use for my books, because I'm trying to save money. Hold on, planets and signs. I use Scribd, which is an amazing app or software that has access to like loads of different books, loads of different documents, loads of different audio books. And this is what I utilize to have access, because it's too long to be. I read too many books to be buying them right now. But the book is called Depth Astrology, and it's called An Astrological Handbook, and it's got 3 volumes, I think it is, or 4 volumes. It's got the introduction, planets in signs, planets in houses, and planets in aspects. And it's by Gar. Let me actually type the name in the chat. Hold on. How do I do that? Can I do it? Okay, someone type this for me, because I don't know how I can actually do this. But GARGATHOLIL. So someone type GARGA. Sorry, GARGATHOLIL, and that's the name of the person that has written this book. So yeah, just type in Depth Astrology and look up those books. It really goes in depth. And like even one of these books, like the Planets and Signs book, is like 695 pages. So they are quite in-depth books. But I do love the way that they go into depth, and they kind of take you through the journey of astrology in that. So look at that. Universal says, Wholeness family, I can assist with your business project, sister. I will need your okay, yeah. Send me an email to trueselfprojectinfo@gmail.com. That's trueselfprojectinfo@gmail.com. Thank you for Keisha for typing that in. That's the name of the person of that book. Yeah, Depth Astrology. Yeah, Depth Astrology. So yeah, definitely check out that. But there's another book as well. Hold on, let me find it. And I'm kind of lost, because some of my Yeah, it's on my other membership. There's something I would say, if you get scribed, make sure it's a card that's going to stay on your account, because I'm having problems actually updating my payment things. So I have to be creating new accounts and stuff, which I end up losing my saved books that I usually have and stuff. So I'll try and find a way if I can, how I can go back into my other account and probably do a post um on these books. Oh, another book that you can use is Shadow Astrology. That's a really, really good book for looking at the shadows of your signs. Um, what other books do I have on there? No, they're all on my other one. There's another one. Hold on. Inner, what's it called? Inner Journey Astrology. Oh, sorry. True Self Project. TRUESELF PROJECT info@gmail.com. If someone can type that in the comments as well for me, that would be amazing. Where is this book? Something about the inner universe or something like that. That's a really good book that goes into all this shamanic Egyptian astrology, for anyone who wants to be able to go into that one. That, but I love that book as well. It's a very, very powerful book. But I'd say be very careful of it in terms of the way that the guy goes into like, this is what pisses me off about these new age people, because you'll get a book and then it will say, oh, this person was channeling from this ascended master and this alien, and this is the meaning of this. Like, throw that shit out. Like, don't just take a an interpretation because someone said that they channeled it. Like, that's some bullshit. But around it does actually provide a lot of insight into that. Oh, there's another book by Nadia Shah, Astrology Realized, Your Journey to Understanding Astrology. So it's Astrology Realized. I really love that book because she actually goes into a bit of history with astrology as well. What other books are there? God, just anything from Galactic Federation. Yeah, literally anything from the Galactic Federation of Light. Just throw it out. Because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Life, Karma, and Astrology by Dr. S.B. Bhagat. There's so many books. Oh, and for anyone who wants to be able to know the connection between tarot and astrology, there's a really good book that I used at the beginning. Tarot and Wisdom Enhance Your Readings with the Wisdom of the Zodiac. And that's a good way to kind of cross-reference astrology and tarot and kind of understand the two different meanings. No, they do. And it ends with... No, they do. And it ends with you entrails hanging out. Can you go into a bit of detail on a later date about the Galactic Federation of Light? Yeah, I could do that because, especially I came into the realization for them not through research, but through experience, through again through the situation that happened to me with the mental health thing. But everything was being projected, or all my messages were being projected to me through astrology, and it felt like every council or every planet was a council of people that were literally orchestrating and puppet mastering everything that was going on. And I realized that was the Galactic Federation of Light, without even being exposed to actual research of what that actually was. But there was a lot of stuff that was coming through, and this is why I say that you guys have to be careful. Just because you're tapping into energies doesn't mean anything. What energies are you actually tapping into? Because they were trying to channel information to me that I understood was foreign for myself. Now, if you don't have a strong sense of discernment within self, you will literally take on that message and you're gone because you don't have any discernment. And that's exactly what they want. They want to be fucking around with people's minds, um, and you know, just all that stuff. So yeah, astrology is literally a program orchestrated by the Galactic Federation of Light. But yeah, I will do another video at a later date about that, because I think that's very, very important for people to understand, especially as everyone's going into this trend of astrology, not recognizing the dangers that actually surround it, and even when witchcraft as well. That's another thing that I need to be able to get some of you guys on, because some of you guys are excited going into Wicca. That's Satanism, literally. Okay, like, it's not from our ancestors. Even some of this African spirituality, some of that is Satanism too, but some of you guys don't want to hear that because you want to be able to be like, oh, Africans are, they're everything, we create everything, and hold it onto this romanticized reality or illusion that has been presented to you, because that was another thing that got exposed to me in that glitch. That was actually pretty scary, really scary. I mean, I literally encountered some of these orishas that some of you guys are calling on, in the astrals, like glitching, like it was mad. Like somebody's like, this is why I say that these deities are using you. So you need to be aware of what power you're giving to them. They're smart. They're really smart. And Ashtar, that's all of these stuff, and even the Palladians, the this, the that, like all of this kind of stuff. These are literally all broadcasters of this, connected to this whole Galactic Federation of Light, that they want to project to you. Like the moment you hear light, oh, this is good, and this is why you need to get out of this light and dark bullshit. Like, it's not about light being good or dark being bad, because that's not exactly what it is. I call myself a shadow worker. I work in the shadows. I don't work in the light. So I'm not the person who loves to be in spotlight and all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm not the person who wants to be like, this is what I do. This is how I heal people. Like, I don't give a shit about that. Like, I have my channel. I say what I need to say. I share what I need to share. If people resonate, they resonate. I ain't trying to be no be a spotlight. Like, in fact, that's been one thing that I've been always trying to fight. Even as an artist, I didn't actually want to be in the spotlight. I would even like deliberately not sing like my best, because I didn't want to attract attention whenever I was like, especially more so when I was younger. I would particularly not, I was specifically not sing my best, because I don't want to draw attention to myself. I just want to be me. Right? And so yeah, spotlight is not me. And so yeah, they will I've seen a book. This might be interesting for some of you guys. Astrology for Writers. Spark your creativity using the zodiac. Corinne Kenner. Enhance your storytelling with the cosmic dramas of the stars. Now this is deep. Sorry, I know I just done a very random shift, but I literally just saw that out of my eyes. But for any those of you who are writers, even if you're writing stories and stuff, understand that or even movies. Why do you think all of the movies are similar? Like similar characters, similar archetypes, because it's all based on astrology. It's all based on mythology. It's based on all of these different things. And so definitely I've read one of these storytelling creator books before, and they're actually quite intriguing. But I don't really do too much writing like that to be able to benefit from that. So if anyone is doing any writing, look up that book. Ooh, this is deep. No, look up that book. Right? So yeah. I will come on again at some point this week. You'll see me schedule up my lives beforehand now. I've got a little bit more time to be able to be going live a bit more now, so you guys will see much more of me. But yeah, again, if you want to be able to join the business network, the True Self Business Network, head over to Facebook and join the Chakra Alignment Challenge for entrepreneurs. And yeah, I will see you guys on the other side.